Floyd Mayweather has finally reacted to Gervonta Davis's claims that he gave tips to Frank Martin's slam Tank and called him a liar, claiming Tank has no life outside him. He even went as far as rubbishing Tank's win over Frank Martin in the two biggest fights of the lightweight division, 135 and 140 pounds this year. Gervonta Davis versus Frank Martin and Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney. Floyd Mayweather repeatedly made headlines for the most irrelevant of reasons. It's good to have guys with guys that have been in the ring before, that got ring experience, as he did not only pick sides, but in a manner that was unlikely of a boxing legend. This time his feud with Gervonta Davis got so much into his head that he had secretly called Gervonta Davis's opponent Frank Martin and given him tips on how to beat Tank Davis. Whether it fell on deaf ears or whether Floyd's instructions weren't just enough, we don't know. However, on fight night, Frank Martin, who seemed to put on a great show in the early rounds, fell short after 1 minute and 49 seconds in the 8th round. A devastating blow from Gervonta Davis took him flat on the canvas, earning Gervonta Davis the 30th win of his career. And has it made you a better fighter? Because he could tell me all day to do that he does, I couldn't do it. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like, well, what does being around a guy like Floyd do? Fight, he could tell you go run at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, go do it. When, cause 9 out of 10, we know your opponents sleep at that time. But that wasn't even where the problem was. The real issue was the involvement of Floyd Mayweather, who had clearly been at heads with Gervonta Davis, having one of the most epic mentor versus British feuds in recent history. Frank Martin revealed in one of his many pre-fight interviews that Floyd Mayweather had helped in some way ahead of the fight, hoping to get back at Dan Davis for being disrespectful to him. It came as a surprise to boxing fans and professionals when the Ghost Martin revealed he has been receiving advice from Gervonta Davis's former mentor and promoter Floyd Mayweather. Like Floyd, if he tell you that you're going to take a lot of head to it, and you go in, it's going to give you a different type of motivation. When you're doing it, he can show you something you know, and it could be the same thing you know. You might not be able to do it like him, but just it coming from him, it'll give you like a different type of life. The lightweight duo locked horns in the ring at MGM Grand Garden Arena, Las Vegas on June 15th, with Gervonta Tank Davis retaining his World Boxing Association title. And as expected, there was quite the trash talk brewing between the two. Still going into the fight, Tank Davis was a heavy favorite. However, while appearing in the Pivot podcast shared on YouTube before the fight, the challenger Frank Martin revealed the Mike Tyson-esque advice Money Mayweather had been giving him to get the upper hand during his Gervonta Davis fight. Frank Martin admits advice from Floyd Mayweather gives him a unique feeling. As a result of this, Floyd Mayweather has now lashed out at those coming for his head. I do what I want to do and support whoever I feel. How's there a crime in that? What's wrong with Frank needing me for advice? If Tank comes, I'd advise him to. So what's the problem you all have with me? I've always been there for him from day one. Only had a game plan, and my game plan was to help him become world champion and take things to that next level. And I've always been there for him, and just over the years you can see I've always been positive. Mayweather have been in Davis's corner despite their split and the various differences between them over the years, and for the most part Davis has always respected the former world champion. However, with the Davis-Martin fight, alliances surely did change, especially since the much publicized online tussle between Tank and Mayweather last month. So when asked about whether there is anything Martin had learned from Floyd Mayweather before the fight, Martin had this to say: he could tell you, man, go run at 2 o'clock in the morning, because 9 times out of 10, we know your opponent sleeps at that time, said the Detroit, Michigan native. Not that Martin specifically needed to train in those hours, but rather, as he explained it, doing it would give him a mental edge over his opponent, as these are the little things that make a big difference in the end. Martin emphasized that it's nothing that he didn't know or was a big deal, but coming from someone like Floyd, who has been at the highest point in the sport, you are going to take a lot of head to it, and it's going to give you a different type of motivation when you do it, said Martin. He also added that even when Floyd shows something, a boxer might not be able to mimic it perfectly, but it'll give you a different type of feel about yourself. Interestingly, that's exactly what Mike Tyson used to do before his fights to gain a mental edge over his opponents. No wonder he became the youngest heavyweight champion and later an undisputed champion. Running at 3 in the morning and chopping wood are just a few of the things Mike Tyson would do to gain an edge over his opponents. However, neither Tyson's training ritual nor Floyd's advice were able to stop Gervonta Davis from doing what he planned to do on fight night. Davis, who was coming off a year-long layoff because of the hit-and-run case he was involved in 2022 and spent 90 days in Baltimore prison, came out on top on fight night with an 8th-round knockout. The gap in his resume didn't dull his skills in the ring. Davis defeated Ryan Garcia in his last outing in April last year and finished off with a similar result against Frank Martin. In fact, Leading up to Davis's fight against Frank Martin, Mayweather urged his fans to watch UFC instead after the two traded shots at each other on social media. Famous boxing reporter Michael Benson posted Floyd Mayweather, Gervonta Davis, continuing their feud, as Mayweather trolls Tank by posting that the Frank Martin fight has been cancelled, and Tank responds, "Keep talking and they'll pull up to your house and lay hands on you." Davis went on to knock out Martin in brutal fashion on Saturday, and in an interview after the fight, the boxing superstar revealed that Mayweather had tried to give his opponent tips on how to beat him. He was giving Frank tips and stuff like that. "But I know for sure that wasn't going to be enough to beat me. It's cool, it's alright, I don't really think too much of it. He's not going to hurt me. You know what I mean? It's better to beef with him than to be cool with him. You know, Floyd Mayweather was the one who told Frank that I was running at 5 o'clock. Gervonta Davis." As for Mayweather, he leaked unreleased sparring footage between a young Devin Haney and Davis. Following Davis's win against Frank Martin, the former lightweight champion uploaded a video of a training session between Davis and Devin Haney to his Instagram account. The video lasts 18 minutes, and in it you can see the boxers exchanging blows with protective equipment while Mayweather clearly coaches Haney. The video does not have much that is extraordinary. What has caused suspicion in the boxing environment is the moment that Mayweather chose to release it on Saturday night. Tank scored another victory, beating Frank Martin by a resounding knockout in the 8th round. The fight marked the debut of streaming giant Amazon Prime in boxing. Shows the win solidifies Davis's position as one of the pound-for-pound best of the moment, granting him leverage in negotiations for a rematch with Ryan Garcia or a fight against Vasily Lomachenko. Some think that the video was a petty attempt by Mayweather to tarnish Davis's victory somehow, although if that had been the end, the boxer-turned-promoter made a mistake, as in the footage you can see an out-of-shape Tank holding up without a problem against a Haney who is in fighting shape. Others think that it was a way to cause excitement due to the recent arrival of Richard Schieffer to Mayweather Promotions. Got enough? The former CEO of Golden Boy Promotions recently joined the Money Promotions team. The former champion's company has had trouble recruiting talent in recent years. Mayweather was a brilliant strategist and one of the fighters with the highest boxing IQ in the world. However, that same intelligence did not translate to his business or personal life, and this new video is another example of the stumbles that the former champion has taken. It doesn't seem like the Mayweather-Davis feud is going to die down anytime soon. However, those who follow boxing keenly know that this script is a very familiar one, as Floyd Mayweather had done something very similar to Devin Haney when he fought Ryan Garcia that eventually led to a face-off between Bill Haney and Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather was surely the architect of the more controversial element of Ryan Garcia's April win over boxing rival Devin Haney. That's at least according to Garcia himself, who, after a strange promotion in which he behaved in a bizarre manner, stood on the scales the day before the fight and failed to make weight 143. 5.2 official weight for Ryan Garcia. Garcia weighed 36 PBS over the limit, and the same amount higher than Haney, who fulfilled his professional obligation by making weight for the 140 pounds world title clash. It is unclear if Garcia's decision not to drain himself to make weight had an impact on the Haney result. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.